What is up, guys? Welcome into a brand new video. Now today we are looking at how to take more wickets on the hardest settings on Cricket 22. Now we're going to split this into two sections. One is going to be for the kind of red ball long form. So if you are in your careers, if you're doing a play now, this will work for both. It doesn't matter if you're a seamer or a spinner. We are going to look at seamers first, and then we'll have a look at spinners. There'll be one for Test cricket, and there'll be one for T20s or 50 overs. It will probably work better with T20s, and that's the one we are going to have a look at. But we're going to start with some tests. Before we do, guys, if you could leave a like on the video, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. It does massively help out the channel. But we will get straight into it, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so first thing is first. We need to sort the field out, and this is the field that I usually like to set when I am bowling with a quick in a red ball game. Okay, so let's have a look at the field that we're going to set up today. Now, we'd like to, personally, I like to go with second, third, and fifth slip. First slip very rarely takes a catch with the seamers because the keeper will usually get to it. Second and third is roughly where most of the edges go, and then there might be a thick one that you need. Maybe a fifth, maybe a gully, depending on what's kind of happening in the game. You kind of got to play that by ear. I like to have a backward point in for kind of any cuts that I like to play. Short cover's got to be in. I'd like to have mid-on and mid-off up, but again, that can be up to you if you want to have them a little bit further back. Sometimes there's a little chip up of an edge that you might need. I'm going to move short leg in. Short leg is the one that will take most of our catches. Okay, there is still a glitch in this game that if you flick it up on the right spot, you're going to take a wicket with it. It does just happen. Mid wicket in, kind of in. It could be in, it could be on the boundary. It depends kind of where you want to go with it. If you want to try and conserve some runs, maybe put on the boundary. If you want to be a little bit more attacking, then bring him in. This point, kind of backward point, you can keep him backward point and have cover in, or you could possibly go for a fine leg and move cover out. It doesn't really matter either way, but that is how I would set up the field personally. Okay, so what I like to do first is just try and get the time a little bit. Just make sure that you kind of know what's happening with this bowler. Some people have got different run-ups. Some people have got different other things. You might get hit for 4. It doesn't necessarily matter. You are here to take wickets, especially in Test cricket. Wickets are very important. So a couple of wide ones. Get used to the bowler. See how it works. I am on the standard Cricket 19 settings. So if you do use the one where you kind of have to aim, that might be slightly different for you. But unfortunately, I don't play on those settings. Now, the ball that gets me the most wickets with quick bowlers is this in-swinging Yorker. Just aiming at the toes. Try and get him in and around there. Because, especially even one that kind of drags a bit wider. Because you're looking for that leading edge, that little flick up. I don't know what it is, just something outside the leg stump. You get a little leading edge coming.
Yes.
Alright, so Jimmy, same plan again. Again, that leading edge. Again, we're trying to find something here. There's always a leading edge with just this little one that's just outside the leg stump. We're looking for a chip up to short leg here. Or a little catch somewhere. If you feel like the ball's going in a certain place, maybe put in a silly mid-off or kind of a silly point or something like that, just to try and give you more of a chance to take the catch. So maybe I might now put in a silly mid-on. So all I'd do is I'd move my mid-on into silly. That might make him try and play a different shot here. See, of course, it goes to the other side. See, what you can do here is maybe come in with a slightly slower one. See if he kind of gets it up. But now what he has done is he's flicked that up. So we might start. What we're now going to do is we're going to have infielders. We're going to have them up. Try and get everyone in. But again, we might go slightly quicker this time. That's an edge. And there it is. Take it at first slip. Root takes it. Change your pace. It works every single time. But that is the best way to take a wicket with a fast bowler. Okay. Now, we have our spinners. This is how we want to set up for a off spinner or a leg spinner. Doesn't really matter. So for the spinner, our field is going to be, we're going to have mid on and mid off there. We're going to keep pretty much everything the same. But I'm just going to put in kind of a backward point, and I'm going to have just first and second slip here. This is going to be my field. Now, that kind of backward point, kind of wide third man, kind of on the 45, you could bring up to silly point. Silly point would work, but most of our catches are going to be taken at short leg. Okay, so I'm now going to go round the wicket. So what you want to do is you want your arm going across, if that kind of makes sense. So if you're a right arm bowler, you want to be round the wicket, or a left-hander. If it's a right-hander, you want to be over the wicket. But round the wicket does work better. So if you do have a left-handed spinner to use for a right-hander, use that one. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a standard off break, a Yorker length. And we're just going to go, again, just that wide outside leg. Magical things happen outside leg. I don't know what it is, but magical things happen just outside leg. Oh, see? Very difficult to play. They never let it go for a wide. Very rarely let this go for a wide. You can look how far my after touch is. Is that a drop? You really want to extend. If you've watched any of my career videos, you will know that we go to this very often. Now, it could be a little bit cheesy. They might patch it, but this works for me. This is just a good line and length to take wickets quickly. If you want to get into that England squad, that Australia squad, whatever squad you're playing for, this is how you take quick wickets. So we do also have Rian Ahmed in the attack. Again, we just go outside leg, trying to find that little magic spot. Something off the pads would work. See, that one came off the pads. Might have been taken by a leg slip. You can always bring up that fine leg to leg slip. They do cut off a lot of that stuff up from fine leg. So that is fine. There it is. There's the catch. See, it's easy. It's taken us, what, 9, 10 balls to get that wicket. We had a few with Root, we had a few with Ahmed, and there it is. It would be taken by the keeper, it would be taken by short leg. Someone like that, someone that you've got in and around there, you just want to throw that up, get it leg side, you'll get a little one off the toe, a little one off the pad, and you'll be taking catches forever. Again, if you want to mix it up, you want to put a kind of a normal length one on that you'd usually bowl in a test match, it's absolutely fine. You will take wickets that way, but this is the easiest and quickest way at this very moment to take wickets in a test match. Okay, now let's have a look at one days, T20s, things like that. Now, for the field, there is obviously 2 fields that you need to set here. So there is going to be one for the power play, and there's going to be one for the... So there's obviously going to be one for the power play. There is going to be one for the non-power play section. So this is always my power play field. I have everyone kind of in the ring, and I have cover point, and I have square leg out. I mean, kind of backward point, third man, fine leg, kind of a wide mid wicket, a mid on, mid off, and an extra cover. Does me for everything. If you want a little bit more protection on the leg side, then I'd go leg side. But the way I usually bowl in T20 matches usually needs for a more offside field. But let's have a look how we do bowl in the power play. Okay, so I always like to kind of come the same side as the batsman. So if I'm a right arm bowler and he's a right arm bat, I'm going to be over the wicket. If he's a left hand bat and I'm a right arm bowler, I'm going to come round the wicket. I just like to line a length outside off, really. I don't like to change it up much any different from this. For the kind of power play, I want to keep it nice and simple. Don't need to take too many risks. Try and keep them down to kind of 5, 6 and over. Because you build pressure. That is what you are mainly trying to do. So again, kind of outswinger, outside off. Again, cutters and things like that are going to be your friend here massively. See, that big block of fielders on that side is going to help out. And again, we're just going to throw down a little off cutter. See, maybe take the pace off of it. Vary at your paces, kind of stay on that outside off length. You'll find a few edges. That's absolutely fine. Now, there is one way that I do like to try and keep the kind of run rate down. There's kind of a wide outside Yorker that's is quite hard to get away. I think we might have even picked up a run out of this, you know. There we go. You just run him out. That's how you do it. You don't even bother taking wickets with... you just run him out. It's easy. Easy then. No problems. Now, this technique is going to work if you're bowling with a spinner in the power play or you're bowling with a pace bowler in the power play. You can kind of keep it tight. You just... good length and just keep it outside off. You never really have any problems. Bowl a few cutters, bowl a few flighty ones, maybe even throw a quicker one in. And it's just... it should be stopped by that fielder. It's never an issue. They come back. It's fine. That is how you bowl in the power play. If you take a wicket, then great. But that is not the main point of attack while you're in the power play. It's keeping those runs down while you can't have the fielders out. Okay, so we are now out of the power play. We can have 5 fielders out. And the fielders that I like to choose are third man, fine leg, and I like to send deep mid-off back to straight off. It's quite important because it kind of covers everything straight down the ground. The only place that they sometimes will hit you, which maybe you can change like a fine leg for, is you can move this man out and put him in a deep extra cover. They do like to hit it through there quite often. But this field will keep it pretty safe. It will keep the runs down, and you'll also take a few catches on the boundary. Okay, so yeah, the main way I would try and take wickets here is just, again, decent line of length, outside off, build up pressure. Building pressure in T20s and 50 over cricket is so important on this game because then that makes them take a rash decision. They might have a big slog at it and you'll get a catch on the boundary. Things like that. 1s and 2s aren't really good enough for them. They do like to hit boundaries. And also as they go further on in the innings, when they get to kind of the last 4 overs, they will try and slog it a lot. Now, one ball that I do like to try and throw in there is the fast Yorker or a slower Yorker. Because I've built up pressure. I know exactly what's going to happen. I bowl that ball, and that just happens because that's in their head. It's programmed into them to try and have a slog because I haven't scored in a few overs. So for that, a little bit quicker, 95 mile an hour, and that is middle stump out of the ground, and that is how to bowl with the quicks. Now, what I like to do with spinners is, again, just kind of wide, a decent length outside off. They might go for the occasional slog. This could be a run out. See, again, building pressure. They're going to take on silly runs. That was close in the end. It wasn't such an awful throw. Again, kind of back of the length. Just flight it. Swing and a miss. Keep the run rate down. Because you don't have to take the 10 wickets in the 20 overs. You don't. You just need to build some pressure. For your career, this isn't... You're going to get picked up even if you're not taking wickets. If you're on a good economy rate, you'll be fine. So you get... There it is. See, we've just built up pressure. Few dot balls. He's gone for a shot. And we've taken an edge. It's easy. It is completely simple. You just have... With T20 batting, you just need to keep the pressure up and you will eventually take a wicket. Now, one other thing that I do like to do is I like to put a full one in and just give it to him wide outside off. Sometimes they'll go for a big shot and it'll be caught by cover point. That is quite often how we take a wicket. See, like he went for the big slog. There's an edge, but he'll just pick up one for it. But if you got hold of that, it's going to be hauled out. Sometimes you'll go for 6. That's fine. It doesn't matter. But most of the time, there will be someone on that boundary to take that catch. Guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. Comment down below. Let us know if this helped you. Let us know if you took more wickets in your career, if you did it in your play now, even in your online games. Let us know if it worked. It would really make my day if I could help some of you people out that maybe have got the game for Christmas, different things like that, or just want to put that difficulty up to that hardest. I will just show we are on, that is our settings. We use Legend, AI, hardest batting, hardest bowling, hardest fidgets, hardest fielding, and obviously default umpiring. That is what we use. But guys, I will see you in the next video. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next. Cheers.